Yes, hello, we are live. Welcome everybody to my studio. My name is Matthew Palmer and we are here to do a little bit of watercolour painting basically over the next 40, 50 to 60 minutes, however long this thing takes. We're here live from beautiful Derbyshire and it's going to be a very chilled out watercolour show today, a very chilled out watercolour session. We are here with the craft store, which means we've got a wonderful products to talk about and some wonderful offers to talk about as well, and that will all kind of kick in as we go through what's happening. But a few kind of exciting things I want to mention. Now, if you like any of the products that we're talking about, the website is here and here, there and there, so watercolour.tv. You can order anything. We've got a bit of an offer that's running until midnight on the 6th of April, so for the next 4 days, if you're watching this live on the 2nd, you can actually order and you can get some really good discounts, some really good discounts in actual fact, including 10% off everything, the entire watercolour TV, by using code CRAFTSTORE. You'll see it pop up here somewhere soon, there. Craft Store, no spaces. Now, there's a limit on that offer. That offer is only running literally until midnight on the 6th of April 2025. So do take advantage of it if you want to use it. You'll see the code pop up. Craft Store, no spaces. That's how you get 10% off everything. And that means the whole canoodle. That means the whole watercolour website that is Watercolour TV. You can literally get 10% off everything, whether it's workshops, whether it's books. We'll talk about books in a minute. Whether it's paper, whether it's paints, all exclusive. And we have the exclusivity on all the products now are here on watercolour.tv. You can't get them anywhere else. And we've got some new products to talk about. We've got a new book to talk about. We've got some special workshops to talk about. So do stick around. It's going to be quite an interesting little show. Let's start off with something I'm quite proud of. Which is actually this. Now, what we've got here is my brand new watercolour book. Yes, I will be doing some watercolour painting soon. So here's the brand new book now. These are actually in stock now. These are in stock, available for you to pick up a copy of. So this is watercolour for the absolute beginner. But what makes this book a little bit special, let's just come back with the camera a touch. What makes it a little bit special is the fact that it is actually a 10th anniversary edition. We've actually put this as a limited run, so it's 10th anniversary. You can see it says 10 years here. These are being shipped. If you've already pre-ordered one, these are currently being shipped as of sort of now, really. So you can pick them up. You can pick them up now. But if you order one from Watercolour TV, not only do you get a first edition of this book, but you also get a special collector's edition that comes with a certificate of authenticity, which is quite nice. It also comes with a signature and a number. So everyone that we send of this brand new book, and it is a new book, it only came out literally last week, this thing, will have a number and a signature. Now, it's full of step-by-step tutorials. All the links for all of this should be in the description below, so you can go on there, you can check out all the links. In fact, it's probably above. If you're watching it on YouTube, it's below. If you're watching it on Facebook, it's above. But all the links are there. All the links are right there. So remember, you can get 10% off by entering code CRAFTSTORE. Now, this is the brand new book, all step-by-step details, celebrating 10 years, over 50% of new content in this book. Look at that lovely waterfall scene there. Bluebell Woods, a very thick book, a nice mountainous scene. Snow scenes, Northern Lights, full to the rafters, absolutely packed to the rafters. Gorgeous seascapes in there, all that lovely Search Press step-by-step detail. And it's quite nice that it's the 10th anniversary edition. Now in the middle of the book you get these fold-out tracings for all 12 projects. All 12 projects have a fold-out tracing. The first half of the book is very much the how to paint in watercolours, all the little tips and tricks, painting figures, how to do things like trees, all the essentials. But it's a book that's been around for 10 years, but what we've done is we've took it that little sort of step further and made it a very special 10th anniversary edition. You can see on the spine there, hide my face, you'll be able to get the camera to focus on that. 10 years anniversary, that is available right now, folks. We're sending them out for anyone that's pre-ordered one. But if you buy it from watercolour.tv, not only can you drop in the code Craft Store, no spaces, to get 10% off, but also if you're a Watercolour TV member, you can get another 10% off by putting your membership code in. So you can get 20% off, which is quite nice. This is how to pick up a copy. Remember, it's in the description if you want to go straight to it. But if you go to Art Books and come down to the first book on the list. So again, just watercolour.tv, and that's where you can pick up this special 10th anniversary edition with a certificate of authenticity to say you bought it direct from the author, which is quite nice. A signature and a number. They're all numbered from 001 to 500. Now, on the subject of books, let me just remind you again where to go. Go to Art Books, come down to, scroll right down, and you'll see a book. We've got a very special deal on this one. A very special deal on this one. Have a look for the book all about watercolour mountains. Here it is. Take 3 Colours, Watercolour Mountains. Now, this book is one of the best-selling books that I've done. It uses 3 colours, 3 brushes, and it's got 9 projects in. Now, this, we are selling signed copies of this on Watercolour TV. Here's some of the paintings that you get to do, all step by step. A lovely starters book for watercolours, brilliant book. But that's the normal price. The normal price of this is $8.99. Okay, $8.99. That's the price you'd pay. We're giving you a signed copy, but because we're doing something a bit special today, if you go and add it to basket, so I click on View Basket, and if you enter the code 50OFF, so 50OFF, what will happen, let me show you this, it will take 50% off. So enter that code 50OFF, 50 off, apply coupon, and that will take the book, it'll remove £4.50 from the book, so it'll take 50% and a bit more. Brilliant, right? So that is literally a one-off, folks. That is only available until the 6th. So if you want to get hold of that book, enter code 50OFF. And of course, you could be a bit cheeky and use the other code, which is Craft Store, and get another 10% off. That's giving you 60% off. And then if you're a Watercolour TV member, you could put in another code, which is your membership code, to give you another 10% off. So literally, over one of my best-selling books of all time, you can get potentially 70% off. So it's 50% off with the code. Let's have a look at the book. 50% off with the code 50OFF. Brilliant. And it is such a wonderful book. I mean, it's let's get close in. This thing is packed with beautiful paintings, all step-by-step, look, all step-by-step detail. You get this lovely kind of Amalfi Italian lake there. You got this gorgeous sort of lake with mountains, beautiful hills and valleys. Again, look at the detail. Lovely classic alpine scene there as well. And then you've got this sunset with the castle. It's a lovely beginner's book, this. Look at that, I love that one. Something very pleasing about the colours there. The sort of Alps, Dolomites kind of vibe. And then a picture and a little bit of introduction about colour mixing and brush techniques. Now again, these are going to be signed copies. You can see it's a signed copy here. So signed copies, normal price is £9. You can get this half price by putting the code 50 off, 50OFF. That will take you 50% off this book only. It'll just slash the price in half. And remember, if you order anything from Watercolour TV, you only pay 1p&p. So that's quite cool. Yeah, that's a really nice thing to do. So do take advantage of that offer. And again, if you want to put in the other code, which is Craft Store, you can have more than one code on the website. You'll get 60% off. So brilliant. So take advantage of that. New book. Very excited about that one, folks. Do make sure you check that one out if you've not already. Let's pop those to one side. We're going to start painting in a minute. About bloody time. Yes, we are. We're going to start painting. We're going to start painting pretty much now. Let's have a look what we've got here. So I've got a cardboard board. I've got a sheet of watercolour paper. Now this watercolour paper is a nice small size. It's postcard size, and it's actually from the watercolour greetings cards kits that we sell exclusively on Watercolour TV. So again, these are now back in stock, perfect for your Easter cards. These are very popular. We've not had them in stock for quite some time. They are now back with us. Again, you can get the 10% off code. Let's take a look at what you get in this little pack right here. So let's just remove this here. These are only available from Watercolour TV. This is the premium Matthew Palmer cotton paper. Now, it's a pack of 5 greetings cards, but we give you 6 sheets of paper in case you make a mistake. So there's actually 6. Just checking. 6, because you never know. 6 sheets of watercolour paper, premium cotton paper, and you get 5 of these greetings cards kits ready for you to assemble. Now, these are another level of quality. These are thick. These are super, super high quality, made from mount board, basically made from mount board. So what you do is you paint your picture on there, you remove the pre-installed double-sided tape, you pop that in, that seals it. You've then got a greetings card on an extremely super quality. I remember the old ones that we used to do years ago with the SAA, and they used to stand up for a day and they used to get a bit floppy. I know the feeling, but the thing is, these don't do that, because it's, honestly, we commission these for Watercolour TV. So we've got these in stock, pack of 5. Not only do you get that, you also get a little bit of an instruction sheet on how to use them, and you also get the 5 envelopes to go with them. So it's the complete kit. But because Mr. Palmer is a very generous artist, he's not a tight artist. I'm not a tight artist at all. As well as giving you that, we're giving you 10% off. They smell lovely, that fresh paper smell. Just thought I'd drop that out there. We'll give you 10% off with the code Craft Store now. You can use that code alongside your Watercolour TV code. But also, we've only got limited stock of these. We've only got about 25 of these in stock if you want to get some. And we're probably not going to be seeing these again until towards the end of the year. So do take advantage. But if you buy them through Watercolour TV, again, links in the description above or below, however you're watching this thing. And you can also jump onto the website just quickly, and I want to paint a greetings card. I want to paint a nice kind of spring greetings card for you in a minute. But what you can also do is I'll show you how you can get hold of these things. Let me zoom in a bit closer to this. What you do very simply is you go to where it says Art Shop right there. You come down to watercolour equipment or watercolour paper, either or. And I'll go to equipment and you'll see them in there. Now, we've only got limited stock of these. We've not got huge amounts of these. Like I'm saying, we're probably not going to be seeing much of them until towards the end of the year. Here they are. Watercolour greetings cards, pack of 5, prestige, exclusive to Watercolour TV. It also comes with a free video lesson. Yes, you get a free video lesson as well The link for that will appear once you've purchased them. You get a free video lesson that's on about 50-60 minutes on how to paint a picture for them. It's just a nice thing to have. It's just a lovely thing to have. So do please take advantage of that. And what I'm going to do now is I want to paint a picture on one of these, because I think that'd be a good thing to do for today. Yes, you would. Now, I just want to quickly mention what we've got here. This painting behind me, this one here, it's in the distance. I'm going to try and grab it without causing too much chaos. This was the painting that we did on Saturday. And it's basically, it's the Orient Express leaving Paris. Now, this was to celebrate, look at that. This was to celebrate 5 years of virtual watercolour workshops. 5 years. This was the 5th anniversary one. You can see what beautiful level of detail it is. And it was such a lovely thing to do. What is that? Just thought I'd show you a little bit of a tranquil snow scene. Put your feet up there. Get a cup of coffee, bit of Baileys, warm yourself up. What was that all about? I've got no idea. But what I'm getting around to, moving on. What I'm getting around to is if you want to have a go and celebrate watercolour and just have a go at watercolour painting in general, we do have a workshop coming up this week. I'm putting that back up there. Watch it all come crashing down. We're going to do a watercolour workshop this weekend, folks, and it's taking place on the 6th of April. We've only got about 25 to 30 spaces left. Sunday, the 6th of April, we've got a live virtual watercolour workshop. These are brilliant. Is anybody in the comments taking part in the workshop? I bet there's some of you that are. I bet there's some of you that are taking part in it. Here's the information. It's a special one. It's a special one-off because we're going to be painting in colourful sunflowers. A colourful sunflower still life inspired by Vincent van Gogh's famous painting. That's what we're going to do. Something so different to do. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, I've been teaching watercolour workshops for 5 years, just to last week. I've been teaching watercolours for 30 years, but virtual for 5 years. And this is the next one. This is the next one. It's for beginners. All you need, by the way, is just very basic colours. You just basically need primary colours. You want very little materials for the workshop. You want some natural yellow light, or some kind of a yellow. You want some natural red, and you want some kind of a blue. So in this particular case, we've got some natural blue. So 3 primary colours, a couple of brushes, a size 10 and a size 6, bit of watercolour paper, and you can produce a painting in full, glorious step-by-step detail. So do make sure you get yourself booked into that. I'll just very quickly show you how to book it, and then we'll start putting a bit of paint on today's show. So listen, let's just jump back to the website just briefly, and I just want to show you how to book the workshop. Now, if you look at the top of the screen, I want to try and make it a little bit larger for you. As the actress said, I'll stop. But right at the top of the screen, you can see in 3 days and 21 hours and 40 minutes and 16 seconds, that's when the workshop's taking place, the Van Gogh, the special one. Click the big sort of button at the top of the screen. You can see I'm hovering over it and it changes colour. Click that. That takes you to the booking page. I'm looking, we've got 19 spaces left for this workshop. So do get yourself booked in. 19 spots. There's a limit. It's all to do with bandwidth and various things. Sunday the 6th of April, watch live or anytime. We're going to paint a colourful sunflower and still life inspired by Van Gogh. It's only 12 quid and it's yours to keep. It comes with a downloadable drawing. It comes with a drawing lesson. It also comes with an optional after workshop critique session, which you can either do or not do. It's kind of your call, really. But it's taking place on Sunday the 6th, and it's a special one. We're going to take inspiration from Van Gogh and paint our own sunflower picture that, of course, will be inspired by Van Gogh. So, yeah, why don't you get yourself booked in, folks? It's a lovely one. And as I mentioned, it's basically yours to keep forever. So if you want to sort of watch it at your leisure, you never lose it. You just got to register for Watercolour TV. It's free. Just set up an account for anything that you're purchasing. Remember, you can get 10% off as well, so you can save 10% as well. which is quite good. Now here we've got a sheet of the watercolour paper from the Greeties card kit. So that's in here. It's one of the 6 sheets I've put down here. And I'm just going to tape it down. I always think it's a good idea. You don't have to, but personally I think it's a sensible idea to put a little bit of masking tape just on some of those little, just around the edge. You don't have to do this by any means. You could actually just stick the corners if you wanted to, but a very little bit of an overlap, just a millimetre of an overlap is all you want for that. Just a smidge over the edge. So we'll stick that down. There we go. And then we're going to do a little bit of sketching. So I'm going to grab a pencil. I've just got a 2B pencil here. And do a little bit of a sketch for you today. I want to do like a little bit of something a bit springy, maybe something a bit sort of cherry blossom, kind of white cottage sort of vibe. So what I want to do is I want to have a little tree, a cherry blossom tree, because cherry blossom, certainly in the UK, I don't know if that's the case in the rest of the world, but certainly here in the UK, cherry blossom is just peeking its head. They're lovely pinks. So we're going to bring that in. Have a nice little tree that's just weaving its way through. So I'm sketching it in with a 2B pencil, just a normal everyday pencil, nothing too fancy here. So that's quite nice. And then over here, we're going to have a bit of a distant cottage loitering on the horizon kind of thing. So we'll do a little bit of a building. I'm just going to sketch in the apex. Now, when you do a building, it does make sense to put the apex central. So that goes in quite nicely. We'll come down here, just let a white cottage in the background, put the roof on. We'll have a bit of a chimney just popping up from that corner. There we go. 3 pencil lines for the sketch. Get nice and close into this. There we go. So I've sketched it in. Now what's important with the building is that your 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, are all vertical. They're all vertical. Again, this paper is from the greetings card kit. So that's exactly what I'm using here. We've only got a few of these greeting cards kits available, so do pick some up, and we're probably not going to be seeing them again until towards the autumn, September, October time, ready for Christmas. So great for your lovely Easter cards. Easter's a good couple of weeks away, so we've got plenty of time to do this. So that's quite nice. Let's just put a bit of detail in. We'll have the little windows and the cottage. We'll put an upstairs toilet. You can tell it's an upstairs toilet because if you look close, you can see a knitted doll sat on a toilet roll. Is it? Right up top. Just there. Is that still a thing? Knitted dolls sat on toilet rolls. I miss them, I do. Another window. Let's have a little bit of a banking up there. Coming down there. Beautiful. We'll put some background trees and things on this picture, I think. You don't get much green this time of year when the blossom's out, do you? It's very much still, the trees are still in the winter mode, aren't they? A little bit of a footpath weaving round. So we've done a nice sketch. We've sketched in a bit of a landscape there. So if you're doing this yourself, I mean, feel free to take a screen grab from that. Of course, you can do that. Rewatch the demo. And also make sure you follow me on Facebook, folks. Matthew Palmer Artist. Matthew Palmer Artist. Again, I popped all the links in the description below. I've had an email come through from Jonathan, and Jonathan's asking, what's the discount code for the Mountains book? So to get you 50% off the Mountain book, Jonathan, you need to put the code 5050OFF. Again, I've put the information in the actual description above or below the video, and that is a genuine offer, half price. Plus you can put the code in Craft Store, no spaces, and that'll give you another 10% off. So you can get that book for like £3 something. It's brilliant. It's a really good offer. And it is one of the best selling books as well, so do kind of take advantage of that. Right, anyway, that's where we are with that. Now, what we're going to bring into this, let's jump over to here. We're going to bring in one of my new favourite products. This is a new product that we launched in February. It's called Matthew Palmer's Magic Mask. This is a wonderful, up-to-date 2025 version of something that's been around for quite some time. Masking fluid, which you might have come across before. This is a very, very nice quality masking fluid. It's heat proof. It doesn't stick to your brushes as much. It doesn't rip your paper. You can peel it off. It's brilliant. And it also comes with 2 brushes for adding the fluid as well. So you get 2 brushes made from a special bristle that this doesn't stick to. And it's Matthew Palmer's watercolor magic mask. It comes with a QR code as well that will give you a free how to use video worth 15 quid. Now this stuff, again, you can get your discount off it today. Stuff is brilliant. Honestly, it's a game changer. We're going to use a bit of this. It's a lovely glass bottle as well. It'll last you such a long time. It's a gorgeous turquoise colour, so it's in the branding of Watercolour TV. So I want to use that, and I'm just going to protect a little bit of an area of the picture. So this brush comes with it, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to go in and we're going to put the fluid onto the cottage. We're going to protect the cottage. Now, a traditional masking fluid, and this might sound a bit dodgy, you can't see where you stick it. Whereas this stuff, because it's important to know where you stick it, this stuff you can see where you stick it, right? That's one, like, serious advantage of this stuff. Another advantage of this stuff, I'm just going to put this across the horizon as well. Let's paint some trees in. Another advantage is that it's very thick, which means it comes off very easily. Doesn't damage your paper. I'm really proud of this. It's made here in Derbyshire as well. It's a lovely stuff. And what it does is it repels the watercolour, keeping the areas nice and light. So if I put that across there, I'm quite happy with how that's gone in. Take your time putting that on, of course, if you need to. And what I would normally say to you is that you've got to let that dry naturally. But the great thing about this, I'm just rinsing the brush, is that you can actually use a heat gun or a hairdryer against it, and it will not damage it. Normal masking fluid gets damaged by the, put the lid back on, it gets damaged by the heat. It turns it to chewing gum. You can't get it off. Where this stuff you can get it off, which is great, which is absolutely wonderful. So it actually does come off, and it's brill. It's really nice. So there's no reason why you can't use a heat gun or a hair dryer on this thing, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. I've got a I want to come back with the camera here. I've got a hair dryer. Nice and dry, which means I can very easily now start to put some paint on this thing. Now, what brushes are we going to use? Well, I want to use a mixture of my different brushes. I'm going to be using these first. Matthew Palmer's blending blades, lovely brushes for painting skies. Good everyday brushes. You get a pack of 2 of these. Again, everything we're using is on the website. Have a look on the website, alltheWswatercolour.tv. You can get your 10% off these today by using code CRAFTSTORE. You get a pack of 2 of them. And they're just nice brushes. You get a large and a small one. So this is the blending blades. I'm going to use the largest one first. And I'm going to just rinse the brush out there. Probably not clean them from last time I used them. Blending blades are made from a special bristle that allows you to wash the paint away with these, but also a special shape. One side's longer than the other intentionally. That is an intentional thing, because what it does is it allows us to paint gorgeous clouds and various things like that. So I want to wet the paper down to the masking fluid, which is nice and dry. We know it's nice and dry because we've just dried it off. So wet the paper, which is always a good start for watercolours, of course. It sometimes helps to put something under the head of the board as well, like a bit of a roll of tape or something. So if you just want to put that on, make sure it's covered. It's a good everyday brush for putting skies on this thing. It's really nice. And then I want to actually use the small one, I think, because it's a small piece of paper. So I'm using the small one. And of course, the great thing about this brush is if you look at it flat, it's quite deep, but look at it that way, it's quite skinny. So it goes from a really pointy brush into a flat brush. And this is the small blending blade. Really nice tool here. I'm going to go for some natural orange. All the colours are available. They're all in stock. We've got all the new colours now, the new designs, the new labels, only exclusively on Watercolour TV and right here as well. So do make sure that you jump on and have a look at those, okay? I'm going to put a bit of orange in the sky here, a little bit of orange. Again, we'll come down towards the tree. So a bit of an evening atmosphere for this, I think, would work quite nice. Putting the paint on. Like so. Beautiful. Love that. And then we'll come back to the palette and we'll rinse the brush. And I want to use some natural violet. Lovely purpley tinge. Don't want too much of that, but we'll get a bit of that. And then we're going to put a little bit of violet in the sky. Just a nice light cast violet, just sweeping through. And of course I can make the brush either wide or slim just by rotating it, which is quite effective for this. But lovely for painting skies, blending blades. Really, really nice tools for doing that sort of work. Let's make sure that all blends in. Now if it doesn't blend in, you've got the nice option that you've got the stiff bristle brush. But what a lovely sky, just a simple watercolor pleasing sky. Over to here we're going to take some natural red, a little bit of natural red, not too strong for the red. Natural red's gorgeous color for blossom. Just a bit of a tap on tissue I think would help there, just to give the blossom a head start. And we're gonna because of the nature and the shape of the blending blade, it's ideal for doing like things like blossom, and you can sort of twist your brush a little bit and you get that nice pink coming through, so you can see that lovely sort of bristly effect. Look how nice that is. It's going on really well. We're going to put some more work into that, but that's quite a good starting point for that. I'm quite pleased with how that's going to go. So that's the start of the cherry blossom, which is great, which is lovely. It's really going to sort of, you know, bring this thing forward. Some of my other brushes that I really enjoy are these ones. These are the fantastic brushes. I love these, and they're like a fan brush but very wide. There's a small, medium and large. You buy them. They do come with a video tutorial, these as well, and you get this lovely presentation pack here. Again, everything's on the website. So if you like these brushes or anything we're using, jump on the website. You can get them, no problem. And you can get 10% off with code CraftStore. But I want to use these to paint in some trees. I'm using the smallest one, the small fantastic brush, which is great for this picture with it being a small scene. And I'm using these now. I'm very proud of these. These are the brand new greens, brand new, hot off the press. Here you go, folks. These are the brand new branded Watercolour TV branded watercolour paints, natural green light and natural green. Again, all the colours online. Check them out. 10% off with code CraftStore till midnight on the 6th of April 25. I've updated the entire range basically, and these are, as it says on the tin, watercolours designed to replicate nature. Says it all right. We're going to take a little bit of the darker green. We don't want too much green this time of year. The only greens you start to see a little bit of buds kind of creeping through. So sort of distant bushes, yew trees are still out in force. Pine trees, of course, are out in force still. Willow trees are starting to creep through quite nicely at this particular stage as well, aren't they? So willow trees are starting to come through. But I'm just going to sort of use this brush and just sort of put some backgrounds in, and maybe even do some little sort of tall sort of conifer type trees, which go in really easy with that brush. Put a few of those in. Just feel a little sort of taps and dabs on the background here. Give it a bit of a stipple in places if you want to as well. So I'm using the small one here for this. I'm just going to work that through. I want it to disappear behind the tree, so I don't want to do too much. So a bit of a willow tree or something coming in there quite nicely. The masking fluid's doing its magic. So that's giving a lovely bit of texture, almost to represent like a distant sort of woodland or something, I guess you could say. This brush here is my everyday brush. It's a Super Point Small, Matthew Palmer Super Point Small, as you can see there, which is just, it's available by itself. It's a lovely little tool. If we just introduce a bit of grey, natural grey, very important colour. That's the new grey brand in there, so Matthew's Natural Grey Shadow Colour. And it says it on the tin. We're going to use that colour. So I've added grey to the green, basically. And I can now go in. Let's get a bit closer into this, because we can do that. Of course we can. And that allows me just to go in and just to put a little bit of sort of shadow around here, kind of thing. And just work alongside what I've already painted. I'm not concerned about where light's coming from, but a lovely pointy brush. You can see why it's called a Super Point, can't you? Just because it's very pointy. And it works absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous brush. Beautiful. So this is going to put some shadows into the background ahead of doing the blossom tree and the cottage and various things. So a really nice thing to do here today. And it's one of those things that you just want to take your time with, really. So I'm just kind of spotting along that horizon. Might just bring in another little tree. Just some sort of a pine tree or something, some sort of cedar tree just loitering at the back, because they're obviously in full, they're always in leaf, aren't they? Something like that. So that little sort of background tree there, might just pop a little point on the top of that one. Can't go wrong with these. Really nice. I'm just going to get a bit of water on the brush, just water, because I just want to make that fade away. I want to just take it out and just let it become part of what's in the background. So you've got that little bit of a dark area that's kind of surrounding the trees there. Lovely. Okay, excellent. Let's let this have a couple of sort of moments to dry. It's taking a nice bit of shape, and while that is having a moment to dry, let's take a breath. Let's take a breath, and let's just remind everybody what we're doing here today. So we're doing this in association with the craft store today, and there's a few exciting things out there. Number one, we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of the virtual teaching. Now, if you want to join me this Sunday for a virtual watercolour workshop, a live virtual watercolour workshop, you can get 10% off it with the code the craft store, which will appear here somewhere in a minute, Tim. Craft store, no spaces, just craft store when you check out. We've got about 16, 17 spaces available for that one, so do make sure you kind of jump in on that one. Here's the information. So Sunday the 6th of April 2025, paint a colourful sunflower still life inspired by Vincent van Gogh's famous sunflower picture, of course. It's yours to keep forever. People don't always realise that. Once you've bought it, it's yours to keep. You can re-watch it again and again. Which is quite exciting. I'll just give the picture a quick draw while we're talking about that. So certainly one to check out, but also as well as that, I'm excited to bring to you folks today the kind of official launch, I guess, on social media of the new book, Watercolour for the Absolute Beginner. The 10th anniversary edition is now available for order. We have these in stock. We're selling first editions, signed and numbered, a brand new book. Look at that beautiful kingfisher there. Kingfisher by the river. All in gorgeous Search Press step by step. There's a lovely scene of Venice in there for you. There's a lovely spring bluebell wood in there. There's a snow scene. It's got about 50% new content. And in look at the Northern Lights. In the middle, you get the fold-out tracings. It's the 10th anniversary edition, which it says here and here. The ones that we have on Watercolour TV is the only place you can get this with a signature and a number. So it's a first edition signed and numbered. We've currently sold up to about 230 of these, so we've got stock of 500 and they've got numbers in them. It comes with a certificate saying that you bought it direct from me as well, which is, I think, it's quite a nice thing to add to it. That's pretty good, right? So do make sure you check that one out if you've not already, folks. Add it to your basket, check out, use the code CraftStore to get 10% off. You can also pick up the greetings cards kits, which is what we're demonstrating on. You get a pack of 5 of these. These are exclusive to us. You can't get these anywhere. You get 6 sheets of paper, 5 premium cards. You can add that to your basket. And the super duper offer for today, of course, is this Watercolour Mountains, which is one of my best selling books. It's got 9 beautiful projects, signed edition. And you get these 9 watercolour paintings. Look, you can see them right here. You get those all in step by step. This normally retails at £9. You can use code 50 off. Yes, believe it or not, you can get 50% off this for a signed copy only through Watercolour TV. Now you could use the other code. You can add more than one coupon code on the website, so you can put Craft Store and it will take you another 10% off. If you remember, you can get 70% off that book. Signed copy as well. It's pretty special, right? Whew, I think we're probably dry enough to move on now. Let's have a look at what's happening down here, folks. When I say down here, I mean the paper. Let's get close into it, shall we? It's dry. I just feel like I want to put a little bit of incidental stuff in. So I'm just going to jump over to the palette there, and we're going to use some natural grey. I just want to get a little bit of sort of shadowy stuff here, maybe a little bit of a shadow on some of the edges of some of these little trees. Maybe pick out that sort of pine trunk there. So I'm just using natural grey. That's natural grey. This is the new design of it. You'll see it says natural grey shadow colour on it. It's designed by me. It's the best selling of all the colours. It's wonderful stuff. But just pop in a little bit of detail, even like a little bit. I mean, this super point brush is lovely. Just putting little bits of, like a little bit of an old gate or something just running across there. You know, it's giving interest. You can even put some bearded chuffs in your sky as well. Put a few of those in just to say there's a chuff up there. Excellent. Now what we'll do here is we'll just give it one very quick blast with the heat gun, and then we'll get that fluid off, and then we can start to do the other juicy bits. Quick blast with the heat gun. Superb. And then we can either peel or rub. It's up to you, innit? Whatever takes your fancy. I want a rub today. I fancy a rub. A good old rub. Comes off so easy, this stuff. That's the magic mask. This is an absolute game changer, this stuff. Dude, it's not normal masking fluid. It's masking fluid for the modern world. I want to say it's masking fluid on steroids, but I'll not say that. Some people might take offence. There's a fence. No one's took it. Still there. I can tidy up the edge. But you can now see what masking fluid does. You know what we could also do here as well, which should be quite nice? We could actually drop a little bit of, just a little bit of water just around the top of the sky there. And if I take a bit of that grey and just put a little bit of smoke coming out. See, it's not a smoke-free zone. You're allowed here to have a little bit of leeway. You can have a bit of smoke coming out your chimney in Derbyshire. Log burner. That's what that is. Just going to put a few little random dots and dabs on this. Do what we want, can't we? Just using whatever's in the palette. Anyway, let's move on to the little footpath area. Can't go wrong with this. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, we've got some colour here called Natural Yellow, which is rebranded now as Sandstone colour, but it is Natural Yellow. It's the Sandstone colour. We've got that. We'll take some of that. Beautiful for this. And we'll drop some of this into the old... into the old footpath. Just like that, very simply. We're painting a watercolour greetings card here. We'll put that in. While it's a bit damp, I might just get a bit of that grey. What I've just used, put a bit of shadow or something in, just to see there's a bit of dark on there. There we go. Excellent. I'll put the roof on the building actually. Natural grey, perfect colour for that. Spot on colour for that. Again, super point brush here. If I get really close into this cottage, we can see all the gorgeous bits of detail that we want to add. Look how nice these brushes are. These are lovely things. We're going to go for the roof here. This one's Roof Maddock. Is that right? Is that from IDI? Say hello, campers. That isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Not sure. I think it might be. Is there any more famous roofs? You tell me. Know any famous roofs? Let me know in the comments. Gorgeous. Natural grey. 50 Shades of Grey. A little bit of a shadow on the side of the chimney. Bit of water. Bit of water. Just to say we've got a shadow, and then what we'll do is we'll drop in some shadows on the side. So we're going to come down here. Water, literally just water. A couple of taps on some kitchen paper, which I've got here off camera. And that way I know it's like a routine. It removes the excess colour, which gives you much more flow. Again, I'm going to go back into the water again on the tissue because I want that to be nice and blended. Just so we've got that lovely little effect of that little white cottage. Just loitering on the horizon. Make a nice pub that. Red Lion. Definitely a Red Lion that. The Slaughtered Lamb. That's a great pub from the American Werewolf in London. Put a shadow under the eaves. Don't go out on moors. No. Stick to the road, lads. There's trouble on moors. No. Trouble on moors. Look at that. Lovely that. Isn't it really effective? I love that. That's such a nice little thing to add. And it's starting to give us some detail. Don't go out on moors, lads. Not tonight. There's trouble on moors. Right, we're going to put in this grassy banking next. I'm going to put in the grassy banking. I'm going to use the blending blade again. I'm going to come back to that because I love using them. Small blending blade. Again, we've got these online, folks. There's a pack of 2, large and small. We're going to be using 2 colours. This is what you can do with blending blades. You can take one colour, which is the darker green, and the other colour, which is natural green. Again, the new branding on the new colours. They're now natural green and green light. That's how you're going to see them from this moment on. Lovely. Rebranded. You can't go wrong, basically. 2 colours, bit of light, bit of dark on your brush. You can just about make that out, hopefully, on screen there. Then we can paint in this grassy area, which we're going to go right down here. Because we've got 2 colours on the brush, you're going to get gorgeous variation on this. Beautiful, beautiful. You can see hints of light, you can see hints of dark. What a lovely way to work. Leaving just a thin edge there. It's a blending blade, so it makes blending so much easier. Water on tissue, as always, and a bit of water. Just to go in and just to add a bit of light to that. Now, to give that a bit more life and a bit more presence, to give it a bit more, you know, with a realistic look, what we could do here is use a plastic card, and you shouldn't pinch key cards from hotels. Okay? All right. but a plastic card that's in your possession. It's perfect for having a scratch in your grass. Put little divots on, little hillocks. Did I say that right? Hillocks with a silent B. Look at that lovely grassy area. Of course, we'll repeat the same on the other side. Blending blade. Let's go through that again. This is not. I'm enjoying this. It's lovely. Nice chill out here from live from Derbyshire. It's Matthew Palmer. Saturday night. There you go. We've got the two colours there, and we'll put the other side in. I'm going to put the tree in soon. That's what I'm waiting for. I know that's what you're waiting for, but we'll get there. Anticipation is half the fun. Light and dark working together. Beautiful, beautiful. Left a little light edge, because if you remember last time we got water on the tissue, tappy tap tap, and then just use a bit of water. Blend it all out. So you've got the little whizzy footpath. Again, you shouldn't use hotel key cards for this. Credit card that's in your possession. I've got quite a few old cards that people have left at workshops, in-person workshops over the years. Some of these might belong to you actually. I've got a few of them actually at the back of the studio here. I've got a few in here, what people have left. We've got a... This is yours. Drop me a message. We've got a Alton Towers key card. There you go. B&Q Diamond Club card. Is that yours? Is that yours? Have you left it? If not, I'll post it back to you. AA card. Alcohol. Sorry. Automobile Association card. I always get those two mixed up. And then here, I wonder who this one is. This one's a bit sticky. Ann Summers loyalty card. It's a bit... Yeah, I need to kind of... Anyway, back to this. Back to this. Back to this. What a difference that's made, Jay. You can see the shape all of a sudden. That's my card that Ann Summers won. It's got a fiver on it. Right, we're going to put a bit of shadow in to this with grey. We've got grey, natural grey. You know that. I'm going to put it there because it's such a nice colour. It deserves its own spot in the palette. It's a beautiful thing, natural grey. I love it. Really, really nice. What I want to do here, folks, is take a bit of this and we're going to drop in a few shadows, okay, along the edge of the footpath. We need to sharpen the edge of the footpath up, don't we? So we'll go in and we're just going to pop a little bit of darkness around that edge. I mean, you can put as much time as you want into this. It's kind of your call to do that. I'm also going to get a bit closer and put the windows and things in. Put the doorway in, put red lion, window, upstairs bathroom, remember. So I've sort of darkened the edge a little bit, just to give it a bit of character. Clean brush, a few tappy tap taps on tissue. And then just a bit of water, just to soften in the actual effect of that being there. What I'd also like to do as well is just to use something very pointy like this super point brush. This is the small one. You can buy this on its own. Such a versatile brush. But you can pop like the little sort of windowsills and things on them. See what I mean? There you go. What a difference that's made. It's given that cottage a bit of life. It's alive. Love that. Beautiful. Bit of dry brush over your grass, over your footpath. What's dry brush? It's where you drag your brush over your paper. That looks really nice. I love how that's just added a bit of interest to this, you know, this kind of simple picture. We're going to do this cherry blossom in a minute. Stick around for that. The final bit of the picture, we're going to put some detail on that bad boy in a minute too. I just want to get a little bit of a couple of dark spots inside the windows there, just to say there's a bit more detail. Bit of random stuff, just to say there's a bit of, you know, greenery in front of the cottage kind of thing. But I'll come back on that. You can see what we've done. We've got the building in place. It's looking nice. Pleased with that. Right chuffed. Okay, let's have a look at this then. So we'll now jump over to the palette. We're going to be using the Fantastics again. Fantastic brushes. We're going to be using either the medium or the small one. I think we'll use the medium one. The fantastic brushes get bigger, as the name suggests, small, medium, large. You get all three in the pack. But they also get wider, so each one gets a little bit wider. I'm going to use the medium one. Again, if you buy them online, you will get a video lesson sent to you via email as well. Using the red, natural red. Not too strong for the colour. A good old-fashioned stipple is what we're interested in here for the blossom. And we're going to basically tap this. Now this is where these brushes shine. Look how lovely that is. You've got to admit, that's, yeah, that, I think it deserves a zoom. It deserves a zoom in for that one. We're going to basically do a little bit of this. Bit of tappy tap tap. I'm going to put some shadows and some branches in and various things. But look how nice that is. A little bit on the ground's always a good idea, just to say it's fallen. Bit of fallen blossom. Sounds like poetry, right? Because if you know cherry blossom, it lasts about 2 days and it's gone. Let's put a bit of shadow into this, clean the brush. We'll introduce a little bit of violet into it. So we've made a slightly darker red. Not too much, but just a smidge. Kind of. So I've introduced natural violet and natural red. Bash in the brush. Beautiful spiky, look at that. These are not just any old fan brush. These are the Matthew Palmer fantastic brushes. Designed with care. Put some shadows in. Beautiful, beautiful shadows. Want to go a bit darker, just a little bit darker underneath some of the clumps. Yes, you get the shadow. Now what we can do here is we can rinse the brush, tap it on tissue. If you want to see the tissue, by the way, it's there. Look, see, it's not very exciting, is it? Found it in floating around the garden. I thought, I'll have that. Just going to pop a little bit of, I'm not kidding, just going to use a bit of water just to blend all that in. Make the blossom a little bit more blossomy. And then we're going to put the tree through. Now for this, I'm going to use the small Super Point brush. We'll start off with the grey, natural grey. Again, all the colours, there's 14 colours in the range. We're going to use natural grey here. Beautiful. Can't go wrong with natural grey. It's a belter of a colour. It's going to go up here. We're going to leave some gaps. You know what we need to do, don't you? We need to give that a dry first. Dry me blossom. Like watching paint dry. There it is. I've dried my blossom. And I'm now getting a bit of natural grey. I'm going to go in. And we're going to paint in some of the trunk with gaps. We need to leave some gaps here, okay? So I'm leaving gaps. There you go. So we've done that. What we'll do next is we'll get another colour. Now I want to use natural brown. Natural brown. Again, beautiful colour. Doesn't need to be strong. Not for cherry blossom. There it is. This is going to get the branches coming through. Lovely colour replicating the brown of a tree. Trunk, twigs, branches, fence post. As the name suggests, all the colours are designed for replicating nature, as you can see right there. That's the secret to my paints. They've been around for 15 years. They're just going through a bit of a rebrand at the minute. And we're going to paint in some little twigs and branches. My stomach's growling, if you can hear it. It's excitement, that, 'cause I'm painting a tree. And get a few very fine branches just weaving through tree. I love how that Fantastic brush has made that just come alive. What I do want to do is go a little bit stronger with the red. So I want to use the small brush, Fantastic brush. I'm onto the small one now. Just want to get a bit more red. I'm onto the smallest one here. There it is. So again, we used the medium one before. You can see the difference. And you can also see how they get thicker. I don't know whether you can see that very well on there, but they get sort of thicker. I don't know what we're doing to the brush then. They get a little bit thicker as they get larger. Just a little, just a careful hover of a bit of slightly darker colour. Look how nice that is. It just puts a little bit of spit and polish on your tree. I think it's lovely. Put a bit down there as well, just for continuity. And of course, when that dries, it will quite nicely calm down. Now, I'm on to my finishing touches. This colour here, natural opaque white. Natural opaque white. This is what this colour was always meant to be called. The older version was just called white, which wasn't very original, if I'm honest. It was meant to be called natural white, but it kind of just ended up being called something else. So we'll pop a little bit of that there. Beautiful colour. These are the new ones, remember? And I'm going to use this to put some of those little bits of juicy detail on this picture right here. So I'm just going to get a bit of water. It's up to you what brush you use, but I want something quite fine. I want a nice fine brush here, okay? I'm going to put some detail in. And what we're going to do in a few places is put some lovely little bits and bobs of just a burst of light. I love putting a bit of light on my picture. So for example here, I'm just going to go in with a slightly fine line on the cottage. I'm just going to mark in the frame, the window frame. Just that little cross. See how that's picked out the windows? I mean, this is tiny. This is really a small little building. Can you see? It's like 3 centimeters across. It's like really quite a tiny little thing. We'll just come down there. Even down there. So it's just putting a little bit of interest on with your white. I'd also recommend just a few little white flowers and things. You know, it might be a bit of bindweed. Love that stuff. Or not. A little bit of bindweed, or a little bit, just a bit of, you know, it's the wrong time of year for bindweed. Daisies. My garden's full of them. My cat's called Daisy as well. She loves a bit of daisies. And a little bit of, some little white dots around. Dandelions are out as well, of course. But a few little white spots around. It doesn't matter what it is. We don't care. We're artists. We can do what we want. Just a couple of thin lines of white in the roof, which is really effective. Can you see how that's added a bit of spit and polish? And I must admit, folks, using a bit of white in your blossom is a great thing to do, because what you can do here is you can put some lovely highlights. Look at cherry blossom in the next week or so in the UK when it's out, and you'll see it's not always as pink as you think. They're very translucent petals on blossom. There's no green on the tree, obviously, because it's blossom, and it comes before the put a few little white flowers around there as well. Put a little bit of white dots around. It will cover up some of the branches as well. It will put a bit of lovely highlighting in, which is such a nice thing to do. Really quite pleased with how that puts a bit of spit and polish on it. Lovely effect. And that just wants making into a greetings card now. So let's do that. Let's do that. I'm happy with what we've painted in the short term there. So let's just get a little bit of, put a little bit of extra white on that tree, just to give it a bit of a lift. It's lovely. It's really effective. Nice little pretty picture. But let's make it into a greetings card. So let's jump back over and grab the greetings card kit here. Come back with the camera so you can see what we're doing. It comes with these, basically. And what you do is you remove the double-sided tape here. But I'm just going to do this for speed. You get 6 sheets of this paper. It's lovely premium cotton paper. And that will fit lovely. And what a lovely thing to send to somebody. We do sell this tape as well, by the way. If you like the tape, we do sell that on Watercolour TV. Now, I'm just going to put it there just to keep it simple, but you get the idea. It'll fit perfectly. Look at that. Just imagine sending that to somebody. What a... Oh, look. I've got goosebumps. Can you see them? Look. That... I'm really chuffed with that. It's made a lovely little watercolour, folks, and I hope you've enjoyed watching that. And the greetings cards, of course, have this lovely open flap to them. So do take advantage of everything that we spoke about today. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to join me this Sunday, which is the 6th of April, because we've got a real special workshop coming up. Sunday the 6th of April 2025. I'm going to paint colourful sunflowers inspired by the famous watercolour by Vincent van Gogh. Again, to book onto it, dead easy. Jump on the old website, you can't go wrong. And all you do is you just have a look at the top of the screen, big button that's flashing next to the countdown, and it'll say live workshop 6th of April. And there it is. Now, we are celebrating 5 years of these workshops. So also, while I'm here, just to quickly show you, jump onto the workshop page, come down to previous live virtual watercolour workshops. There's 216 of those, 5 years worth of workshops. This is the one that we did about 3 weeks ago, which has been a bit of a fan favourite. The old Monet's Bridge in France. The one that we've just done to celebrate 5 years was the Orient Express. Full sketching lesson. Every one of these has got a downloadable drawing, but there is over 216 of those to choose from. You can rewatch this video on the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel as well. It'll be on there, which is just Matthew Palmer. Do make sure you subscribe. We've got 150,000 subscribers on there, which is great. And make sure you follow me on Facebook, folks. Matthew Palmer Artist. It's just a nice place to see what I'm up to. But yeah, what a great thing to do. I thoroughly enjoyed painting that today. And don't forget to take advantage of the 10% off discount code Craft Store at checkout. If you want to get hold of the brand new book, the 10th anniversary book, all the links are in the description. You can take advantage. And remember, we've got a 50% off, a whopping, a massive. In fact, there's 60% off because you can use the code Craft Store and 50 off, 50 off. So you can get 60% off this book. And if anyone's Watercolour TV member, you can get another 10% off. You can get 70% off. Signed copy. Here's one. There it is. Signed copy of the book. Watercolour Mountains. Thanks for watching, folks. It's been a pleasure to do that today. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll see you on Sunday for the live workshop. Bye for now.